Yo, what's up? My name is Petrowski, and I actually wanted to make a quick video talking about my top 5 picks for items and things to invest into during the Halloween PokeMMO event, and to invest into and make profit, long term, or maybe even after the event is over for a little, et cetera, et cetera. I do want to make a quick preface that I'm not, an invest advisor. I'm not being paid to do this. Take these advice or take this information at your own risk. If you lose money, please don't come yelling at me. I'll be making all of these investments personally, and you can feel free to follow along, or feel free to say I'm stupid in the comments and say no, that's a horrible investment because of this and this, and tell me why. But please nicely, don't actually call me stupid. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into these top 5, and hopefully you guys can follow along, agree, disagree. It's all like speculation. It's always opinion. It's always hearsay. Let's go ahead and see what I think is the best investments. All right, so my 5th pick for the best item to invest to. So this is the worst pick out of the list, and I want to say that with a preface of maybe I'm disrespecting this item too much. It's very, very possible. This item is something that really is one of the biggest flips out of these. That could be the biggest coin flip. Mage Staff could end up being the best investment out of all of these, but in my personal opinion, I don't know. I just don't. There's so many good back slot items in the game. People do love back slot items. Things like the Scythe are, iconic, but I think there's just a ton of them. And I think this does have a place in the game's cosmetic system, and it does fill a very nice role. But I just don't know if it's a role that's going to want to be filled more so than other roles. It's hard to tell. I'm going to put this in the 5th slot. I think it's still an item worth picking up, maybe one if you have the extra cash. It's always nice to have one of each vanity or one of each thing that I recommend. But I don't even know if I'm going to pick one up. I don't know. I just don't have enough money. I've been spending so much money. As you can see, my cash stack is wicked low right now. I spent easily 10 mil during this event. I spent a lot of Pokeyen, and I've been making a lot of Pokeyen as well, but I've been spending it faster than I'm making it. So yeah, that's my recommendation. So number 5 is going to be Mage's Staff. All right, number 4 is actually going to be a bit of a sleeper pick. So the Zombie Head is currently around 100 to 110k right now. This is a pretty drastic cosmetic. This thing really changes your appearance. And in my opinion, and from my experience, drastic cosmetics are usually really wanted and pretty cared for and desired. This is a really cool, that one sold for 109k. This is a really cheap full kind of head recover. People could also use this as an alien kind of cosplay, an alien head as well. So there's a lot of there's different applications for this than just zombie, because it doesn't look strictly zombie, which I think is important. I think is really cool. This is a really cool one to consider, and I think it's important to keep in mind. It's my 4th pick. I think Zombie Head is super underrated. It's also really cheap right now, being at 100 to 110k. Really cheap investment that I think will do pretty well long term. Any investments that I talk about today, you're gonna want to be holding for at least 6 months, but ideally over 1 to 3 years maybe, and then selling off. Usually vanity items or long-term investments, especially limited vanity items from events, are always long-term, pretty safe investments, and it's about picking the vanity with the biggest margin. All of them are going to rise, but it's about how much are you going to make per vanity, which one's going to rise the most from its starting point, and input price and output price, So that's my 4th pick. I think it's super underrated, a super sleeper pick, Zombie Head. On to number 3. I think goodie bags and loot crates, everything you get from these kind of events, are always a really good, safe bet to invest in, especially in bulk. So, for example, goodie bags are only 20k a pop, which is pretty nice. We can look at older goodie bags. They're a super easy one. These always go up. Goodie bags from 2020, so literally 1 year ago, are around 40 to 50k right now. So that's a double in price per one. Let's say you bought 100 goodie bags, you doubled you double what you spent. That's a huge benefit. That's a huge secured profit to be made. I think goodie bags are always really safe, and they're a no-brainer. They just take time. You can even look at some of the much older ones. I think I have some older ones of certain events, 2018 I think is one. So 2018 goodie bags are 350k. It's important to keep in mind. These are really nice and easy to price check, because you can just look. You can just about 2016 goodie bags are around 11 mil. So this it's just important to look back. These are really easy because you can just look back, see the older ones are expensive. I think 2016 was the year of the Scythe, which is why This one's so expensive, if I recall correctly. But yeah, it's just important to keep in mind. Goodie bags are always a super safe investment, but it's about, you know, how many can you buy, how many can you hold for how long, like do you need the capital, and your patience with that. You gotta have patience for like all of these investments. But that's my number 3 pick, Goodie bags. All right, now to my number 2 pick, the red Oni Mast. So this Oni Mast is, maybe I'm just biased, really freaking cool. This is a really cool cosmetic, and I think it's a very, it stands out. It's a cosmetic that really stands out, and it fits a certain kind of edgy theme that certain people love, and I think this will be a very wanted cosmetic for a really long time. This is like, it's close to whether this is my first pick or not. I almost consider this to be my number 1 pick, because of the price. The fact that it's only like 700K right now is insane. I bought mine for, I think, 725K, and I'm very happy with that price, because I think this thing could easily be a couple mil item in the future, like super easily. This thing could go to like 2 or 3 mil within like a year, in my opinion. Maybe that's crazy, but it's just such a good cosmetic, in my opinion. I think it's so cool, so drastic, so sick. Fits a certain theme that people love, you know, that devilish sort of, you know, yeah, it's really cool. Really cool mask. Really cool. Fits that edgy theme that people love. I think it's a great top tier number 2 pick for investment. All right, on to my number 1 pick. It is actually going to be the Werewolf Masts, both of them. There's the gray one and the brown one. I picked up one of each personally. I think this is the best investment because for a lot of reasons. You know, a lot of people love animals. You know, it fits a couple of things. A lot of people love animals. Some people really love animals. You know, it's just like important to consider that, if you know what I'm saying. And I think people will always want this really long term. Like, this is something that a lot of people's favorite animals are wolves. I don't know. I can't talk about the importance of, I guess, how much people love animals and how important animals are to certain people. And I think it's a really good long-term investment. And I think that it's something that will always be wanted, like, by the latest game of players. Like, no matter what price is, even if it was like 1 mil or 50 mil, I think it'll be a super wanted item by a lot of players. I think it just has the most want and most desire to me personally long-term. I don't like this that much. Like, I wouldn't. Plus, it's animated. That's something to talk about as well. The fact that it's constantly animated and has that animation effect is a really important thing to consider. Plus, it was only brought into the game with RP. The Werewolf, yeah, they were an RP only item. They weren't opened by crates. I'm pretty sure they weren't opened by Goody Bags. So, RP only item, not specifically tied to the event, but specifically tied to Halloween, but not specifically like Goody Bags and such. And super desirable long term. There's a certain, you know, group of people and a certain, I think 50% of people like love animals, and I think there's just like a super huge desire for that and interest. So yeah, that's my basic, you know, overview covering. That's my number 1 pick, the Werewolf Masks, both of them. Pick one up if you have the capital. I know it's a lot of, the hardest thing is a lot of investments. It's like 4 mil per mask. I think I bought mine for around 3.9 mil each. And I'm pretty happy with that price, even though they've gone down. Could have saved like 400K, but that's okay. They're a super nice item, super long-term desirability. You know, a lot of longevity on these items, in my opinion. Okay, but that's my top 5 picks. Let me know if you disagree with me in the comment section below. Like this video if you liked it. Don't dislike it if you disagree with me. Dislike if you think I did a bad job. That's totally okay. Leave comments. Let me know if you think I didn't do anything justice or forgot anything, or you want to ask me questions on certain things. I'll be pretty open and honest. I'm not like the best investment wizard. I think I do a decent job, but I'm not like the best. And I'm never gonna like pretend like that. I'm never gonna act like that. I'm never going to, like, if someone's gonna ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I'm either gonna go look it up and try to find the answer for them, or I'm gonna be like, if I can't, be like, hey, I couldn't find that. I don't know. I'm sorry. I honestly don't know. But I appreciate everything. Thank you guys so much. Like and subscribe. Subscribe for stay up to date on PokeMMO content daily, let alone PokeMMO Halloween content, specifically in event content. It's really cool. Join the Discord linked below. We're constantly calling out swarms and mini boss spawns and everything like that in the Discord below. It's been really helpful. I have like my Discord open, global chat open, and team chat open during the Halloween event to get as many spawns as possible. And I think that covers everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are making a ton of money off the Halloween event and you're having a ton of fun. So keep that up. Have a great one, and happy Halloween, everyone.